Hello, good morning to you. This is Thav TV. You're welcome to another interesting and exciting segment of the newspaper review. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and of course, it is my pleasure to bring you the newspaper headlines for today. But before I do that, let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll bring you the headlines in full. Please stay with us. Alright, you're welcome back from that short break and taking you straight now to the first paper for today. We shall be looking first at the Punch newspaper, and amongst the headlines in the Punch we have: stations run out of petrol. Stations run out of petrol. Scarcity paralyzes states. Stations run out of petrol. Scarcity paralyzes states. Queues persist in Lagos, Abuja, others. Transport fares skyrocket. Queues persist in Lagos, Abuja, and others. Transport fare skyrockets. Small businesses grounded. Labour threatens strike. PDP flays silver. And you can get all the detail on that particular headline on page 17 of the Punch newspaper. And moving over now to another interesting headline, we have contributory pension assets. Contributory pension assets rose by 1.11 trillion naira in 2021. Contributory pension assets rose by 1.11 trillion naira in 2021. Hit 13.42 trillion naira. Hit 13.42 trillion naira. That's on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. And another interesting headline here reads: Kyari may spend more days in detention. That's according to Ndlea. Kyari may spend more days in detention as Ndlea approaches court. Kyari may spend more days in detention, according to Ndlea. ASU fumes as federal government declares strike illegal. ASU fumes as federal government declares strike illegal. Another interesting headline here reads: protesting Lagos driver set ablaze by government agents, say family, colleague. Protesting Lagos driver set ablaze by government agent, says family, colleague. And lastly, in the Punch for this morning, we have Obasanjo, Ango Abdullahi meet, strategize for 2023. Obasanjo, Ango Abdullahi meet, strategize for 2023. All right, that's the much we can take on the Punch, and taking you straight to our next paper for this morning, we have the Leadership. And amongst the headlines in the Leadership, we have Nnpc apologizes to Nigerians over bad fuel. Nnpc apologizes to Nigerians over bad fuel, long queues. That's on page 4. Says we didn't see it coming. Says we didn't see it coming. Assures scarcity will disappear soon. Assures scarcity will disappear soon. PDP decries planned 201 billion naira for clearing adulterated petrol. PDP decries planned 201 billion naira for clearing adulterated petrol. Dangote Refinery, AFCFTA will boost Nigeria's economic recovery. Dangote Refinery, AFCFTA will boost Nigeria's economic recovery, according to IMF. Another interesting headline here reads: we are surprised ASU embarked on strike, according to federal government. We are surprised ASU embarked on strike, according to federal government. That's on page 6 of the Leadership. Another one here reads: finally, APC governors reach consensus. Finally, APC governors reach consensus. Zone chairmanship to North Central. Finally, APC governors reach consensus. Zone chairmanship to North Central. That's on page 7 of the Leadership. Another interesting headline here reads: 15 years after, Senate probes Obasanjo's 400 billion naira PHC project. 15 years after, Senate probes Obasanjo's 400 billion naira PHC project. That's on page 6 of the leadership as well. You want more details on that headline? Do get a copy of the leadership for yourself. Another one here reads, and lastly in the leadership we have gunmen kill cattle traders. Gunmen kill cattle traders. Injure scores in Abia and Plateau. Gunmen kill cattle traders. Injure scores in Abia and Plateau. All right, I'm taking you straight now to the Nigerian Tribune. We have amongst the headlines, adulterated fuel, and Nnpc files claims for damages against suppliers. Adulterated fuel and Nnpc files claims for damages against suppliers. Queues will disappear by next week. Queues will disappear by next week, according to Kyari. Give up petroleum ministry. PDP tells Buhari, give up petroleum ministry. PDP tells Buhari. All right, another interesting one here reads, drug trafficking. Drug trafficking. Kyari, Bawa confessed working directly with cartel in Brazil and Ethiopia, according to Ndlea. Drug trafficking. Kyari, Bawa confessed working directly with cartel in Brazil and Ethiopia. It's according to Ndlea. Exonerates agencies officials. Exonerates agencies officials. Promises blind justice for inductees. Promises blind justice for inductees. You can get all the information on that headline on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune. And another interesting one here says, federal government wants peaceful resolution with ASU. Federal government, FG, wants peaceful resolution with ASU. Strike, unfortunate. Federal government wants peaceful resolution with ASU. Strike, unfortunate. That's according to Minister. You can get that on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune. And lastly, we have 8 killed as gunmen attack cattle market in Abia. 8 killed as gunmen attack cattle market in Abia. That's on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune. All right, that's the much we can take in the Nigerian Tribune. And before we take you to our next paper for this morning, let's go on the short break. And when we come back, we'll bring you more of the headlines. Please stay with us. All right, you're welcome back from that short break. I'm taking you straight now to the Vanguard newspaper. Amongst the headlines in the Vanguard for this morning, we have Ndlea to police. Ndlea to police. Drug cartel working with DCP Kyari, not our officers. Drug cartel working with DCP Kyari, not our officers. Ndlea Act. Kyari faces life jail. Kyari faces life jail. I am highly disappointed with the situation. I am highly disappointed with the situation, according to Okiru, that's a former IGP, Inspector General of Police. Another headline here reads, bad fuel. Bad fuel. Queues will end next week. That's according to federal government. Queues will end next week, according to federal government. And another interesting headline here reads, hunters arrest 6 Boko Haram informants, food suppliers in Borno. In Borno, I beg your pardon. Hunters arrest 6 Boko Haram informants, food suppliers in Borno. That's on page 3 of the Vanguard. And another interesting headline here reads, Regbe Shola's men, police, trade blames over Oshun shooting. Regbe Shola's men, police, trade blames over Oshun shooting. That's on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. And another interesting headline here reads, bandits attack Abia cattle market. Bandits attack Abia cattle market. Cows, traders feared dead. Cows, traders feared dead. You can get all the information on that headline on page 7 of the Vanguard. And lastly, in the Vanguard, we have reps probe paper leakages. Reps probe paper leakages. Cancellation of examinations by WAEC. Reps probes paper leakages. Cancellation of examinations by WAEC. That's on page 4 of the Vanguard. And that's the much we can take in the Vanguard. And taking you straight now to our next paper for this morning is the Daily Independent. And amongst the headlines in the Daily Independent, we have methanol blended fuel. Methanol blended fuel. We have filed liquidated damages against importers. We have filed liquidated damages against importers. That's according to Nnpc boss. We have filed liquidated damages against importers. That's according to Nnpc boss. Assures fuel queues will vanish in few days. Assures fuel queues will vanish in few days. We will handle airing PMS suppliers. Reps vow. We will handle airing PMS suppliers. Reps vow. Marketers to operate for 24 hours every day. Marketers to operate for 24 hours every day. You can get all the details on that particular headline on page 29 in the Daily Independent. And do well to get a copy of the Daily Independent for yourself. Another interesting headline here reads, I am surprised ASU is on strike. I am surprised ASU is on strike. That's according to Education Minister. I am surprised ASU is on strike. And lastly, in the Daily Independent for this morning, we're going to be taking rail transport. Rail transport gets $2.81 billion boost for rolling stock procurement. Rail transport gets $2.81 billion boost for rolling stock procurement. Right? That's the much we can take in the Daily Independent. And taking you now to our last paper for this morning, we have the New Telegraph. And amongst the headlines in the New Telegraph is I am surprised ASU is on strike. I am surprised ASU is on strike, according to Education Minister. Another one here reads, Nnpc GMD apologizes to Nigerians. Nnpc GMD apologizes to Nigerians. Nnpc GMD, I beg your pardon, apologizes to Nigerians. Another interesting headline here reads, Presidency. Igbo elders warn politicians. Warn political parties, I beg your pardon. Igbo elders warn political parties against Southeast exclusion. Igbo elders warn political parties against Southeast exclusion. All right. Another interesting headline here reads, WB, Nigeria, others face risk over opaque debt profile. Nigeria, others face risk over opaque debt profile. Federal government to rigid 9-post operation with 46.5 billion naira. Federal government to rigid 9-post operation with 46.5 billion naira. And lastly, in the New Telegraph for this morning, we have 2023. Ango Abdullahi meets Obasanjo, says we must strategize for better Nigeria. 2023. Ango Abdullahi meets Obasanjo, says we must strategize for better Nigeria. That's on page 2 of the New Telegraph. Right, right about now, that's the much we can take amongst the headlines for this morning in the papers across the nation. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Right about now, we'll go on a very short break, and when we come back, I will be joined by my lovely guest who will be talking on some headlines in the papers for today. Do want to stay with us. Okay, welcome back from that short break, and right now I am being joined by my lovely guest, and by that person I mean Mr. Sunny, who will be talking on some of the headlines in today's paper. Mr. Sunny, the Education Minister, Malam Adamu, recently said that he is surprised ASU is on strike. I don't know what you make of that particular statement.
You know, Nigeria, we have our presidents and some of these top hierarchy officers, they have their own way with words. Is it that they're in shock other surprise. I'm always surprised. You know, ASUU made known their intention that on Monday they were going to go for
a warning strike.
A warning strike. So where is the surprise
coming
from? You know, so it was announced. You know,
beforehand.
So, but this morning he said he's surprised that that federal government is working on their demands and they're working tirelessly to ensure that they meet their demands and that is not the right time for them to go on strike. So they will still call them to the round table to negotiate. So, but for me, I just pray that the negotiation yields something.
Yes.
You know, it's not just negotiation, talking, and nothing is forthcoming. It's because if they don't do anything after this 1 month, ASUU is going to go on indefinite strike. And if it becomes indefinite, nobody knows when they're going to come back. So they should just do something.
And don't you think it's kind of like a tactic, like I'll say a tactic he wants to use to take away some pressure from himself at the moment, saying he's surprised? Don't you think it's a tactic to actually, a technique, should I say, technique to take away some pressure on him?
Pressure. The pressure will always be there. Okay. The pressure itself is students not going to school. You know, there's so much going on right now, even with the fear wahala that is on ground. So we don't want to come and compound it with adding the educational wahala to it.
Yes.
So they should just do something so that Nigerians can move on with their lives.
Exactly. And Mr. Sunny, concerning this growing fuel scarcity problem in the country at the moment, I don't know if there's anything you want to say concerning that, because in the papers this morning, it's all adulterated fuel news, fuel stations. I think I have in the Punch here, stations run out of petrol, scarcity paralyzes states. So
yes, you know, when the scarcity started, everybody was thinking it's not going to get to the south, you know.
It is here now.
Right now it's here in the south, and
yes.
You can see there's hike in transportation fare. And long queues, like yesterday we started experiencing long queues.
In fuel stations.
Yes, hiking in the transport system. So, and from the news yesterday, the federal government said it's going to take 2 weeks for them to be able to overhaul the system and to bring in cleaner fuel. You know, but from the look of things, it's not improving. You know, it's not improving. So let's just give them. Hold them by their words. They said in 2 weeks' time that they will have it under control.
So you're saying we should hold them by their words? Yes. That particular statement is quite difficult to, you know, really live up to, because I believe before now the federal government has been saying some other things, and they expect Nigerians to actually hold them by their words. So saying we should hold them by their words this time around is almost like saying we should just go around in circles.
And because they are also accusing the marketers. You know, and from the look of things, there's a rancor between federal government and the fuel marketers. You know, so let's just keep our fingers crossed and see if they're going to penalize anyone for this.
Yes, and another interesting headline that's actually making wave at the moment is this Kyari's issue. What do you make of it? Because at the moment, is I think there are news here saying he's going to face, I think, a life jail term.
Well, let him face the music. Because I went online yesterday, I saw an ad that he was doing for Ndlea. You know, where he was discouraging drug trafficking. Yes. And where he was like a patron of Ndlea, saying whoever is caught for drugs, they'll come hard on that individual. You know, so you are preaching one thing with the other side of your mouth, and you are doing another thing. And why this is a pretty hard one for him is because they have evidence on camera against him. So it's really difficult. A hard one. So I don't know what his lawyers are going to go to the courts to argue about. You understand? So they have everything on camera against him. So it's really a hard one, and it's heartbreaking to see that these individuals that are supposed to protect you, you know, they're the ones that is killing you and breaking the law. Imagine the amount of cocaine. Imagine the
25 kg.
Imagine the amounts, millions of naira. You know, so I want to commend the Ndlea. You know, and from the look of things, they're really doing their job.
Yes.
So if other force can also take this lead, you understand,
yes,
to fight corruption, to fight the menace that is fighting us in this country, I think it will go a long way as a nation. And why this particular case is really a difficult one is because he's deputy commissioner of police. Yes. For crying out loud, he's holding one of the highest office in the police force. You know, so and this case now has become public because it's there online. Everybody have seen the proof. So really so everybody's just watching. Really is it going to be like every other case that has been swept under the carpet? You know, there was a time we had.
We hope not. We hope not.
There was a time when somebody stole money from JAM, or was it WAEC or JAM? Millions of naira. One of the directors, you know, she came up to tell Nigerians that it was snake that swallowed the money.
Swallowed the money, yes,
you know?
yes.
So cases like that, and we didn't see the light of
it died off. It died off
of that
over
case.
time.
So
yes,
this one too, we want to see how it's going to end up. You know,
we pray it doesn't die off like the rest.
Yes, that something at the results. At the end of the day, Nigerians are happy that okay, someone is going to jail because he's still is misleading people.
Yes, yes. It's a really sad one. It's a really sad one, especially knowing the fact that he actually holds one of the highest offices in the Nigerian police force. It's really, really sad. But like you said, like you rightly said, we pray that he dances to the music and they don't get to, you know, sweep it under the carpet like they usually do for other cases. All right, Mr. Sunny, thank you so much. Mr. Sunny, thank you so much for your contribution today. All right, viewers, thank you so much for staying with us. And please do also follow us on all our social media platforms. On YouTube, it's at Thav TV. On Instagram, it's at Thav TV_NG. On Facebook, it's at Thav TV. And on Twitter, it's at Thav TV. My name remains Cyril Aloysius. And until we come your way again next time, have a wonderful day.